Got him.
Oh, Dan. Oh, Dan. Never change. Never change. I love you, bud. You're great. Except when you use bows.
Dang.
You know what? I think chat missed all of what I just said and only got what you said. So that's fine. That's fine. That's just between us and the podcast. So
it was a deep personal moment that ended in a slight attack.
I don't know. Do you not like 311?
There's a few songs that I like from them. I haven't heard the one that you were referencing.
Amber is the color of your energy? You haven't heard? That's like their biggest song.
I've heard Beautiful Disaster.
You haven't heard that one?
I have not. I'm sorry, bud.
Okay. All right.
I mean, make
fair.
sure to rectify that after the show.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, so see, that's how you know. That's how you know. Whatever, Dan.
Don't do that, Nim. You're only gonna hurt yourself. Welcome, folks, to episode 224 of the Planet Destiny podcast of Mazes and Spreadsheets. My name's Dan Finity. We're gonna make this a quick and dirty, just like last week. We have in the co-host seats Joshua JJB2.
Hello.
The handsomest man in the Destiny community, Nim Plays.
You know, I would have taken that to heart a few moments ago, but now that I know what that really ended at, whatever, Dan.
I don't know what you mean. I'm going to edit all of that out. obkatiekat is our special guest this evening. OB, hi.
Hi. How are you guys?
How are you doing this fine evening?
My brain is just white noise at this point after looking at all them fucking hexagons for the past God knows how many hours.
Yeah.
Swear to God, like literally all that's happened is we've literally just been in the fucking Glad's Discord channel thing, and it's just been literally me, Evan, fucking who else has been in there? You've had Sweat, apart from now I think he's currently dead. Glad was up, and there was a couple of others as well, but either way, like all our brain has just got melted, and at that point we just couldn't do anything, so we resorted to just putting dirty dance tracks on. Nice. And then my chat decided to hit me with a bit of Smash Mouth, and you can imagine how that went.
Well, I mean, somebody once told me the world was going to roll me, and that I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. I was looking kind of dumb, but I am going to ask you this. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do in the Destiny community outside of breaking your brain on this puzzle that everybody's been working on for the past week.
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, my main thing is teaching people raids and getting players that don't get to do the endgame activities that often the chance to do it, and then bringing them up and giving them, you know, a little bit of experience so they can go off and either do it on their own, or I can give them a hand with stuff like that. But it's mainly just I don't know what the best way to put it would be, but it's mainly helping out the little guys, and that seems to have stemmed into something which quite a lot of people are taking as, I don't know, quite a nice thing for them. And I've been doing it since D1, but I've only really started streaming since, I think mainly since Shadowkeep properly, really. But no, it seems like it's very appreciated and stuff. But at the end of the day, I love doing it, and I love being able to give these guys the chance to do that. And apart from that, it's just aping shit with 3 shotguns and a fucking team of Titans, you know? I got my pack of Crayola ready, and we're all good to go.
Pack of Crayola ready.
I've actually got 2 boxes of Crayola crayons sat next to me, and
that is amazing.
and chat was getting me to lick them earlier, so yeah, that's a
Nice.
Nice.
Not sure that's 100% safe, but
I mean, it
Oh,
doesn't say
man.
do not eat, so I mean, take it as you will.
hey, it
Non-talk.
doesn't say do not lick. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, terms of
Uh.
service. Anyways, so what finally made you press the go live button?
It was just a case of I had a bunch of people that I played with anyway that were like, "Oh, you should stream this anyway." But like, I wanted to do it for years, but I never really had the gear or anything like that. But it was just a case of, someone just went, "Right, okay, you should just fucking do it," because like, I was quite shy at first at doing it. And to be fair, like we always still are, aren't we? Like we have them doubts.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, should I even do it? But like literally every time it's like, right, okay, so I've got these people in chat now that do it. It makes their day and stuff like that. And I would be on the game regardless anyway. So where's the harm in just going live? It's just it. Some people it can make their day, and at the end of the day, if I've been able to do that for someone and give them an escape for God knows how many hours that I'm on of a nighttime when I should be sleeping, then it's every little helps at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But, yeah,
All right.
Nice.
So you also have a bit of a musical background, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yes. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, do you view Twitch streaming as an extension of that creativity in your life?
I mean, it could be. I mean, it's a completely different thing. Like it used to. So for those that don't know, I was in a death metal band. Yeah. And I wrote all the guitars and stuff for it, and did play the guitars for like a good few years on it. But then our drummer kind of broke his shin, and I had to do an album and a tour on drums. I had to learn the drums and then do them in like maybe like 2 months. And I had to like gravity blast and fucking double kick at like 350 BPM and all that shit. And I was like, oh fuck. So literally just went for it.
That's awesome.
I mean, and it worked. But yeah, no, that kind of like folded after a few years because it was a case of it was costing too much to do. And we all had musical differences and kind of fell out and stuff like that. But like that kind of giving someone like something to do, because I know bands and also streamers that I watch now still, like that I have done for years, like for example Dan in here, Nem, and then you've got like the likes of Glad, you've got fucking everyone up that end, and it's like a case of that kind of thing can get you through a lot. Like I know Destiny 1 got me through a lot. So even just that little escape thing was it. And I know music has the same effect for people. So that was what, even from an early age, that was something that I really wanted to do. And that was the whole reason I got into that as well. But like I haven't picked up a guitar in fucking donkeys. I mean, I think the last thing that I touched was maybe them Twitter videos I put up.
Yeah.
A couple
Those
weeks
are
back.
So good.
I'm glad you liked them.
So
But no,
good.
like that they were like stuff that I'd written. Just fucking about, I think that day. And my main thing is literally just jamming until something works, and that's basically what they were.
Yeah.
But no, it is just literally one of them. Like if I can put a smile on someone's face, even just for today, then that's what I tried to do.
That's awesome. That's excellent. Well, now that we've gotten to know a little bit more about you, why don't we start talking about the news of Destiny 2 this week?
Oh shit, dog.
Yeah. So I didn't know that Kismet would line up so quickly with us inviting you onto the show, because this week saw the arrival of the Corridors of Time puzzle. Can somebody who knows better than I, because I think I'm the Clint Eastwood telling people to get off his lawn of this entire puzzle scenario, how does this puzzle work? What does it involve? And how close are we to solving it?
Goddamn fucking hexagons! But no, like for real, it's like I'm only like on the lower end of the like the food chain, I guess you could call it at this point, because it's fucking consuming the whole of us. But basically, it's a case of we're going into the corridors of time and following the emblem code, or joining on someone that's already sat there, like I was yesterday for about 15, 16 hours straight.
Jeez.
And then I was on doing the same like the day before for like 20 hours or so. And there's people in there that have just gone in now because there's I think 1 or 2 codes that we're looking for again. But it's a case of going in there, taking a screenshot of the what code is on the floor underneath you. Because your code there's a different code on all 3 of your characters. And each time we hit the next wave of them, there can be anything from because originally it was it reset every hour. So every hour one of your 3 characters would have a different code. So you'd have to log in on all 3 characters, jump into someone that had the checkpoint at the end, take a screenshot on all 3, and then send that. And then at this point, it is now every 7 hours it changes, but all 3 characters have still got a different code. So it's a friggin' nightmare. But anyway, we're doing that, and then we're giving that to the lot in raid secrets. Because they're working with Gladslot and that. And basically Hop, she's been a big help with it because she's like the main one that we're conversing with. But she's doing something to relay it between us and raid secrets, and then someone in there has generated an algorithm which is getting all the sides of the code, the middle code, and all this, that, and the other to match up, and then generate a map which will let us traverse the corridors of time and find whatever the fuck is at the end of it. Because it is actually, it's literally just a maze. It's literally just a maze.
Yeah.
So, as someone has the IQ of a goldfish, I've just kind of been watching as people have been doing this over on Twitter, and whenever I see like one of these map updates, in real life I turn into the visual representation of that GIF of that just numbers popping up like in front of me, like just trying to comprehend what's happening and what I'm looking at right now, because I have no idea.
Yeah, it's fucking loony, but like literally, right? I'm gonna see if I can send you this now, right? So this was the most recent one, right? So chat isn't gonna be able to see it. Like your guys, I think are gonna be able to see this. But now I'm gonna send this into the call a sec.
Okay.
Which is the most recent version of the map. But if you look on this will kind of make a bit of sense when you guys get it.
I think I've seen updates, but I don't know if I've seen the latest updated one.
Yeah.
That's the most recent one. That's the bounty. Right. So if you look at the bottom, right, they all start from a certain point. But if you look, the colors actually lead in a way so that they will actually form a pathway. So like color after color after color after color. And then if you look around the middle, there's like a string of the dots that kind of go together. That is a pathway you will have to take through the corridors. And you have to get basically from one side to the other. And there's a good running meme at the moment with like us and Scarrow and stuff, which is basically just send in everyone like rats in a maze and just see who gets there. And there was actually a voice chat that we had to make because everyone was just like going like literally.
Everybody's like, oh God.
Literally the voice call was, I think you had 40 people in it.
Jeez.
And everyone was like literally just gives a sec. Like, why don't we just put a rat in there? And then you have another person who was like, why don't we put some cheese in the maze? And then some other fucker would be like, we'll put a cow in to chase the fucking rat to make the cheese move. And then like someone was like, just fucking jump over the maze at this point. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the map, and is the beginning of this, like all the way at the bottom where the yellow line is that the start?
Apparently so.
Oh god.
Literally, I don't know which ones of the doors are. Like one of the other teams was that, but I've been on capture and transcribe, and that's literally it. So I've been getting the initial data and sending it off to people. And then people like Scarrow and that have been like looking at the map and figuring out where goes where. But
because I only see two of those. So there's only two yellow lines on this map, and there's one very distinctly at the bottom, and then there's the other one is at the very top left, and it's just like, is that where it ends?
Yeah, it's like literally like those guys are all like, oh, this is a door, and I'm like, is it? It's like a fucking hexagon, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Like everything else nowadays. Fuck.
Oh my lord! Just Again, I when I saw this, it's just like my brain just kind of like deflated.
It looks insane. It looks.
It is.
It does.
Yeah.
It really is. And there's some people, there's like Banana. Yeah, I know, right? Banana in there. Like, there's people in there who are smart.
Yeah.
And then there's like Banana is like fucking Tony Stark out of the lot of us, because his brain works in ways like he's speaking, and I'm like, how the fuck do you even process that in the way that you are? Like, he's coming out with like all these algorithms and fucking mathematical equations of how each side is fitted and this, that, and the other, and where it fits in the map and that. And he's like, right, okay, just send it to here and I'll sort that, blah, blah, blah. But like, it's like, how the fuck did you even think of that? Like, I'm literally looking at this and all I'm seeing is shapes and a couple of symbols, and that's it. I'm like,
right.
I'd probably do what the other guys are doing and just send a fucking rat in. Like, that's literally the best thing to do. But it is literally an infinite. If you go in there completely blind, you could be in there forever, because it is literally a case of, if you go through one wrong door, you completely miss the emblem room.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. I don't know if you know the answer to this, but how did you guys know to make it a rectangular shape?
It's not even that. It's basically, right, there's on each side, there is I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it had the, there was like, you've got the main hexagon in the middle, and then you've got the pillars around the edge, which also have symbols on in strings of 7. If that side is, if any of those 7 sides is blank, that means that it's an edge. So if you've got a side, if your hexagon has symbols on the top, upper left, bottom left, and bottom, then the right side will be blank completely. So at that point, then that's one of the
that's an edge on the right hand side. Okay, yeah, because I was wondering how you guys figured out like that it's a big rectangular, like the whole map, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it was literally a case of, we reached a point and everything was just stopping, and then there was a huge gap, and it was like, wait a sec, that piece fits up there. And then, so basically they took the big cluster that was on basically where them little ones on the roan are at the bottom that you can see. There was basically a huge chunk down there, and it was like, wait, they fit in the top left, move them up there. And then it just fitted there, because basically around the middle hexagon, there are some lines that border it, and then some of them that don't. So the ones that are open are basically, if you imagine, you know, them games that are basically like, you've got to make pipes fit from one end to the other.
Right.
So like them, it's basically like that, because some of the ends of the hexagon are open. So you've got to try and slot them so that they fit like the pipe.
Okay.
And then the symbols around it.
And then it goes to another connection, and then so on and so forth. Okay.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a Mass Effect puzzle. Trying to open doors.
Basically,
but on like a gigantic scale, yes.
Yeah, there's like, I think there's like 6,000 valid entries at the moment that currently make up that map, as far as I'm aware, and we're still only at 80%.
If there's anything that I've learned and taken away from this entire community event, is that, boy, I am dumb.
Well, I'm literally just aping it at the bottom and just like collecting as many fucking screenshots as possible. Like literally, you go Glad's chat has spent enough time watching him do it so that they've learned how to figure it out and they've made their own algorithms that work, but mind you, and are currently helping us filter everything through to send over to raid secrets and everything. So he's got like 15,000 people filtering through which ones we need, which ones we don't.
That's insane.
And going through there. Like Glad's chat is actually helping fucking insanely. It's without them we wouldn't be as far as we are, but without raid secrets, me and Glad and all that wouldn't be either.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's fucking
it's insane. Like I want to know who made this. I want to know how they made this because it is so intense. Like, how did they even think this up? I just oh my gosh.
I want to know who the fucker was in Bungie that decided to fucking do it. Like Jesus Christ.
I don't know if that information will be revealed because they might get pelted somewhere.
Yeah, like I've already said to my chat, like literally the moment this is done and we get it finished, the next tattoo I'm getting is a fucking hexagon because I need to leave that fucking trauma somewhere on me that isn't behind my fucking eyelids. Like Jesus Christ. Like literally I went to sleep last night and all I could see was hexagons. I only went to sleep for like 3 hours, but like you know when you get that fucking static when you close your eyes,
yeah,
if you sat in front of a screen for too long. I got that, and I literally just had the image of the hexagon screen in my fucking.
I would have taken a melatonin or something just to like knock my ass out.
Yeah.
Just imagine if you were actually trapped in this though, like legitly trapped.
That's the lore,
with
right?
A group of other people.
Yeah.
This is basically what the Infinite Forest should have been.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that.
That's how it's worked out. Because this is literally infinite if you do not go from beginning to end using the exact right doors.
You're screwed. Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking like I tried doing it and I was in there for maybe 4 hours before realizing, yeah, this ain't fucking happening.
Yeah.
It's I just can't even.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah. So we have a question from King Thrall. What is your opinion on Glad taping a shoe to his face?
Right. So I've actually got a screenshot of every like couple of thousand subs he got in that sub train because I was there from start to finish.
Right. Yeah, I remember
that was like 10,000, right?
Yeah, you're like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, and literally like every like I think at first it was every 500, and then they started rapidly flying up from 500 to like before I could even get the screenshot, they were at the next 1,000. So I was just like, right, you know what? I'll just get the screenshots of these. And then he was just kind of sat there and he kind of lost his mind because we broke every record he had at that point, like his sub train, his sub total, we got him to, I think it was 10 million views and then 250,000 subs as well, which was one of his main goals when he first started streaming. And then all of a sudden he just went silent and started doing all this weird shit, like sitting at the back of his room, being all dazed and shit. And then next thing you know, he was fucking duct taping sunglasses to his face to keep his eyes open. And then he fucking sellotapes a shoe to his head. And I was fucking pissing myself. I was like, oh yeah, my boy.
That's great.
Oh, yeah. But I loved it. Yeah, no, it was funny.
So what do you think is at the end of all this? Overall,
right, okay.
when you go in at the end of the maze, there's got to be something. What do you think it is?
God,
what do I think it is, or what do the theories think it is that everyone had?
What? First of all, what do you think it is, and what are the leading theories?
Right. Okay. Personally, I think it's going to be an exotic weapon, or it's going to be an emblem, or it's going to be a ship, which is okay. That'd be the standard thing for this. Glad's idea, which is really fucking cool, is a space like the Dream and Sea.
Yeah.
like an extra zone, like area zone for people to go to, even if it's possibly a social space like the Iron Temple in D1.
That would be
He
cool.
reckoned it'd be cool as fuck, and yeah, I completely agree with that. But the majority of us think it's just going to be a fucking lore piece or some shit like that.
Right.
Like it was funny. Like my chat was actually saying how funny it'd be if it was literally just nothing at the end. You get to the end and it's just fucking, it's
It
just
just
fucking
ends.
Fenchurch sat there, and he's just like, "Oh, do you want to buy this loot crate? Yeah, yeah."
Like,
I forgot to mail this. Can you take this, please?
what
Yeah,
if it's
alright.
like Osiris or something, and he's like, "Congratulations, you successfully got through where I couldn't," and then he
If it was
gives
a
us something.
cutscene, like an actual
Yeah.
cutscene, yeah, sure. But like, if it's just a fucking lore tab, like as much as I fucking love lore, like I quite pride myself on the fact I'm only missing like I think maybe 10 pages of lore in the game.
Yeah.
I wear that chronicler with pride and shit. And if even if it was just a fucking lore tab, I would be pissed.
I
Like
think
that.
I think as a
Yeah.
collective community, everybody would be pissed for sure.
Yeah.
And Dan's cam is currently glitching
Yeah,
the
Dan's
fuck
limp.
out, whatever that is.
I don't know what's going on. Let's push through it. Push through it for our audio
It looks like
listeners.
a stream, but on Discord, it looks like
Oh God.
I don't
a
know.
siphoning cable from the neighbor.
Look, shh, maybe
It's
I
like
am.
somebody
Don't
had
out
a
me.
God damn it.
Why would you out
Like-
me like that, Nim? Come on. Why would you do that?
Somebody's has to.
Anyways. So we have a couple
Call
questions
him.
from chat before we move on to the news of the week. Jebby asks, how do y'all think Bungie feels that this puzzle has lasted this long?
I think it's good. I think they might not have even had an ending to it, and they're just trying to drag it out. Either that, or it's because the content's dry at the moment. They're like, yeah, this will keep them fucking distracted, won't it?
Well,
Fucking yeah.
this is it was interesting because we were just talking about it on the was it last podcast? I think it was
Yeah.
last podcast. Or
Yeah.
we were like, well, there's not much to do now. And then like the next day or whatever, they're like, hey guys, there's something secret here. This,
Yeah, it
and-
couldn't have come at a better time. And to be
Yeah.
fair, it has been amazing. Like the entire community's fucking come together for this. And yeah, no, there's been so much going on and so much like banter and communication and fucking everything. It's just been phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
everyone's kind of in agreement that like even though there's nothing to do at the moment, this is possibly one of the best things that could have happened. This is
Yeah.
destiny in a sense, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we were kind of talking about this in the pre-show, where something like this has kept that portion of the community that has wanted something to do, some challenge to overcome, while not in the sense that it's a proper like in-game thing, like like a raid or something. It's kept that portion of like the hardcore that wanted something crazy. It's giving them
Yeah.
something to do for like a week. And that's one of the things that I like even Dylan over on Twitter said is like, well, this puzzle's lasted for over 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Which was
Yeah.
pretty great. Because typically, whenever like one of these secrets missions pops up or anything, it's usually done in a couple of hours. Like Whisper or Outbreak Perfected.
Yeah.
Which is
The
cool
funny thing is,
because
though, like you physically could not do this what we've done without having absolutely fucking everyone involved. Like, it'd be
absolutely.
physically impossible.
Mhm.
Like you think about the fucking tens of thousands of people that have like got involved. Like literally, you look at it alone in Glad's chat again. Going back to it is literally like 15,000 plus people sending their codes in. And then you've
Right.
got the likes of mine, you've got everyone else's, and they're all flooding it. And
right.
Yeah.
everything like that, the entire Reddit is bloody doing it. And you got like most of the Twitter Destiny folks as well. Everyone's getting involved. And it's even that we're still at the progress that we're up to now. Like we're only on like 80, 90%. We're currently waiting on the next map to be revealed because it's been getting processed all day because there's that much data coming in. Like, put it this way, within like every hour we're maybe doing like 500 submissions, stuff like that we're again filtering through. But I don't know if you guys seen the links I put up not too long ago where the community can actually give a hand with transcribing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's how they can
Yeah,
help, and then that helps filter stuff for us so that we're not having to do as many duplications or anything like that,
Yeah.
Right.
which gets us closer to a finalized map, and then that can be processed, and then we should be, like we were saying, I think it was roughly between the next 3 to 18 hours we should be done.
Wow.
3 to
So
18.
you think it's close?
Yeah,
I think it's close.
because it's a case of there's still like there's still like we're close, but at the end of the day as well, those missing pieces, the ones that we were missing, they didn't show up until literally that reset that we posted earlier. And there's still like 2 missing. There's some showing up that are either errors or we're still needing 1 piece in a certain place or stuff like that. It's really, really difficult to say how in that time frame it's going to do it, but it will be somewhere within there because it will show up. Like Glad found fucking 5 just sat in his server, and he was just like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
I just hope the payoff is fucking worth it for everybody.
Yeah, I really hope it actually rewards us with something unexpected rather than just
it's got to be good,
you
man.
were saying before,
I don't
like an emblem or a ship or whatever.
I genuinely don't think that this amount of effort and time, because even they said that this was something that couldn't be done, in a sprint, that it was a marathon.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be anything less than like an exotic, whether if it's armor or weapon.
yeah, it just it feels like though, which I'm absolutely loving as well, that even though they've said it's a marathon, not a sprint, that we're all sprinting this fucking marathon.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to see just everyone fucking going balls to the wall and blitzing everything that they can to try and get through this, and that sense of accomplishment. It feels like Last Wish Day 1 ramped up by fucking like 1,000,000%.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's that intense.
What if I just thought of something here. What if it has to do with the 15th wish?
Oh god.
Stop trying to make the 15th wish happen.
Yeah. I would think that's very unlikely.
Yeah.
I'd say it's very unlikely
because they're time corridors.
No, we're too far off from like the Forsaken stuff for this to link.
I reckon if that is going to show up at any point, it'll just show up if like maybe if something just shows up in like Last Wish or something Taken related. But because it's so heavily Vex related and Corridors of Time is like so far
I know,
away
like
from
I
Last
know
Wish and
it's
stuff.
a stretch. I know, but it would be interesting because there's been no progress on that. Like I don't know if just like we've tried all the combinations or if we've just like stopped. That's not our. Obviously that's not our focus right now. But it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we do need to find that fucking thing at some point, but I reckon that's fucking time locked. I don't reckon that's getting it until they turn it on, because there's no way we haven't found that yet, and it's just not there,
Yeah. For sure.
Laker Boy asks, would you want more of these big community type events? I know I would want to see them come around more perennially. But maybe not every season. Like
I wouldn't say every season. I'd say maybe like a whisper type 0 hour type thing.
Yeah.
Maybe every 2 seasons, and then every let me think. Hold on. Every big fall drop, I'd say have a raid, like a Last Wish size raid. And then on the halfway through the year, drop something like this. And potentially a raid layer, because the fact that it hasn't had a raid layer I mean, obviously we're gonna yet to see what the next season's gonna hold, but if that doesn't have something like a small raid or something like that, it's gonna feel very thin, especially for a year drop without one. Because I mean, Garden of Salvation, what we're doing that in maybe 30-40 minutes on a really good run. So it's like even you're looking at that, and like I don't know about you guys, but I'm still finding Last Wish a lot more fun to do than Garden at this point, because we've done it that much, and it's not exactly a, I don't know. I'm trying to think, because of the way the mechanics work and everything like that. You've got to try. You got. It's basically a case of you use a nade launcher with his Nagis, and that's it.
It's a very specific weapon type that you can only use for that.
Yeah. Like literally, we did like the amount of fun that you can have with Riven. The whole reason why melting Riven's so fun is because of how many weapons you can melt with Riven. And if you can't melt it with something, then you can melt it with something else. Like, I don't know if you guys seen the meme I put up about Penumbra. Which is a green grenade launcher, which does a shit ton of damage. It doesn't have spike nades or anything, but if you're running with someone who's newer, I'm actually going to be doing a series on it for Blueberry's new light players. So any kindergartens that don't have good weapons, I'm going to be making like an ideal what you can use, and Penumbra is top of that fucking list. Same with Cuboid ARU, which is my favorite auto in the game. But like them two together, you can't go fucking wrong. It's fucking sick.
I've never played with that, but I've seen it. So
it works in the same way as Fighting Line. So you got to pull the trigger and then release it to detonate it. But if you're good with Fighting Line, you'll be good with it. But you can practice with it like really easily, especially Fighting Line. That's like if anyone's ever going for a nade launcher, then that is definitely something to go with. But Penumbra is, we were doing it with a new light player. We were doing I think it was Riven. Was it Riven or was it Insurrection Prime? It was one of the two. But either way, they were like falling behind big time with damage. Like they were only on like 40,000 or something like that. And we were all like hitting a mil, like borderline 3/4 of a mil. And then so we turned around and we're like, oh, what can you use? And I was like, well, I've heard Penumbra's pretty decent and I used it a few times. You know, you can try that, see how that works. And then next thing you know, they hit 600K the next run. So we were like, right, okay, yeah, that definitely works. So considering it's a green grenade launcher that you get from the beginning of the game, that's definitely a fucking good shout.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, next time you do a raid, literally get everyone to just use Penumbra and see how it goes.
Yeah, it's interesting. Because that new weapon I've seen people do, that new exotic
Devil's Ruin.
Yeah, I've seen people 6-man Riven with that, and it was hard.
It was hard,
like
but doable.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you guys seen it, but like literally the first day Devil's Ruin came out, we did a Spire of Stars run. And we said you can use anything, but you have to use Devil's Ruin because it was a I can't remember what the loadout restriction was, because we did Prestige as well. We ain't going easy with that shit. But the middle one was the middle one energy weapon was anything, and that was the only one that was unrestricted. So we went, fuck it, let's go Devil's Ruin into Spire. And I think it was heavy grenade launcher, and that's why I was using Penumbra that day. Yeah, it was because I threw on, because it was we used. Some of us used Wendigo and some of us used Love and Death, and then some of us used Anarchy for it. And then in the end, I turned around and went, fuck this, I'm using Penumbra because someone had, that was it, SMG sidearm grenade launcher, that's what it was. So we ended up with one guy who had a blue SMG because they were a blueberry. So we went, right, fuck it, okay, I'm going to use Penumbra. And then so we had that with Devil's Ruin, and it changed because it had, the cycling element damage buff. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Prism.
See?
Yeah. It's something, I don't know. Anyways.
Either way, the element buff burn thing changes
Yeah.
every so often, and it changed to solar as we hit the damage phase. So we all just whipped Devil's Ruin out and just fucking went for it. And yeah, no, we got about a third of his health off, and that was it. It was like, yeah, no,
that is bonkers.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh man. Well, that's pretty much it for Corridors. Shall we get into the news of the week from this week at Bungie?
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. So with the TWAB coming out on Thursday, Iron Banner will be returning on January the 21st to January the 28th, starting at 9 a.m. PST and ending at the same time on the 28th.
Yay.
They will be auto-completing everyone through the portion of the quest that requires rocket launcher defeats. So
Thank
if
God.
you didn't get those with Wardcliffe Coil or whatever the hell else you wanted to use, then there you go, guys.
Truth.
Woo.
Truth. Yeah, truth. No kidding.
I managed
The
to
truth is
finish
out
that
there.
the first week it was out on all of
Yeah.
my characters. Like I thought that like the quest was fun up until that
Yeah.
point. I know
Right.
all of you guys here in the podcast, minus Kat and Josh, but I'm referring to
Yeah.
TBL Aura.
Yeah.
Weren't a fan of it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't
Yeah.
have
I'm not a fan.
I didn't have any issues with, you know, like the scout rifle portion or hand cannons or
Yeah.
whatever. It took me out of my comfort zone, sure, but it was fun using different weapons that I normally don't use,
Yeah.
and
I
managed to go through it up until I hit the rocket launcher portion.
Yeah.
That's when I stopped having fun. Just because, like, it just the matches just become concentrated on one portion of the map, and then you got to fight against your blueberries, and so they won't
Yeah.
pull it early. Then you got to like book it, and then if the enemy gets it, you're fucked. So it's just
Yeah.
it's just not great.
See, you just
I
have to
think
roll with like 6 people or 5 other people that actually enjoy Iron Banner, and
Yeah.
you'll be
Yeah.
fine. That's how
See,
I did
like,
it.
Right.
I went I when I did this with my warlock at first, I was like, oh, this sucks. This rocket portion is just not great. So immediately, like after I got it done with the warlock, I did it on the hunter, and I left my titan for last, just specifically so I can fucking bubble on the goddamn heavy and not
Yeah.
have any problems.
Yeah.
There's literally with Iron Banner, like I think because of the way that the artifact now gives you the power grind,
Mhm.
the pinnacle chase is kind of passive. So
Yeah.
going into Iron Banner and putting yourself through it is
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then the lack of
Yeah.
refresh with everything, like they've been advertising, oh yeah, this armor's come back, and it's like, yeah, okay, well, we've
Cool.
basically already got that
Cool,
for starters. And
Yeah.
2, like, did you see the hype around everyone being like, oh, Destiny 1 fucking Iron Banner armor coming back, and everyone was like, fucking yeah. And then they were like, oh yeah, no, we're not doing that. And I was like, oh right,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. But like,
Right.
there's no weapon refresh. They went to bring out an exotic bow, I think it was, or was it a
was
pinnacle bow? One
legendary.
of the two. Yeah,
Yeah.
like me and my chat and Laker in your chat there. We do like a sort of talk show thing, and literally one of the thing that we came up with was give Iron Banner either an exotic or a pinnacle weapon that's worth chasing that will slaughter in Iron
Mhm.
Banner,
Mhm.
and anything other than that is just, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's a case of Iron Banner is on that frequently
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
when it
Yeah.
comes round, it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, not this again.
Well,
Right,
So
it's
I
like,
think
do I want
one
to
of-
deal with it, or do I just want to like stay out this time? You
So
know?
I think one of
Yeah.
the big issues with Iron Banner is just that it's so samey. Like you said,
Yeah.
Cap, you know, like there's no refresh. You know, we're getting again the vanilla armor back, which was the last armor set that they brought back the season before Shadowkeep. And
Exactly.
I personally I think that Iron Banner as a whole just needs to kind of evolve into something else. And I think that the team has done a good job in making sure that when you're playing it, it feels sort of different than if you're playing Crucible, just because you have the Iron Banner medals and you have the triple cap mechanic, and the capture
Yeah.
zones are, you know, these like things of fire. but it needs to be something unique. It needs to be a mode specifically made for Iron Banner in order for it, when it rolls around, it's like, oh, control. Yay.
Like,
yeah, exactly. And whether if they make like a new team, like objective based mode or something like Rift. I know a lot of people like Rift. I personally wasn't a fan of Rift in Iron Banner.
Yeah.
Just because it's very dependent. It's very dependent on teammates. And if you can't communicate with blueberries that don't know when to pick up the ball or how, where to take it to dunk it, it becomes frustrating.
Yeah.
But like something that I wish they would take advantage of is the big axe that they had in the Archon's Forge in D1. And have some sort of like, I don't know if anybody has played Call of Duty here, but Hardpoint.
I haven't.
Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah.
Okay. For the listeners who aren't aware of what Hardpoint is, it's basically control, but zone. There's only one zone, and it moves in different sections of the map. So imagine having something like that in Iron Banner, where each new zone gives you the battle axe, which you can use to defend that area with until timer runs out and it moves to the next section.
That'd be fucking sick.
Yeah.
So something different, something that ties it with
something
thematically
fresh.
with Iron Banner. Exactly. Not just like, oh, it's PvP again. But
that'd be fucking dope.
And every time Iron Banner comes around, we talk about the same thing over and over again. And with like Shadowkeep coming in and the artificial power grind being introduced, it always puts Iron Banner in a post Shadowkeep world. It puts Iron Banner in a position where, while people, some folks play it for fun. Crystal Flames 80 in chat said, "Hey, I play it for fun." It takes the meaning out of the event to the point, and it happens so often that it's not really an event anymore.
Exactly. Like it's not a special thing anymore because it's like, oh, Iron Banner again. Like,
like literally, sorry, you carry on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like we kind of said before, there's no new weapons, and there's no real reason like, oh, I have to do this now. Like I gotta, play this. Like there's just not really a good incentive this season, at least.
Yeah. I feel like in D1 it was pretty good in terms of like, I know it happened the same frequency that it did now, like it does now. But the thing was, you look at D1's Iron Banner, and it had so much more going for it. There's so much more of a drive to do it. Whereas now you look at it, the frequency to benefit from doing it kind of doesn't correlate. Like there's not as much drive to do it, and when it comes around as frequent as it does, it kind of feels more like a chore, whereas D1's one felt like an event. So like now it's like a case of, if they were to do it, instead of having it once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever the fuck it is, have it like once a month, once every
a month and a half or something like that. I think the sweet spot right now. We used to have like featured weapons each Iron Banner.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't have that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I mean, it's crazy because I mean, as what Kat was saying, looking back to like the D1 version of Iron Banner, it was even less thematically tied to Iron Banner outside of like the proper rewards, because you picked up the bounties and you were off. I mean, literally, and the only differences between standard Crucible and Iron Banner back in D1 was just the rewards, basically, because I don't even think Saladin narrated Iron Banner in D1. I think it was still Shax, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it rotated.
In terms of,
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I can't remember, but I think like when it comes to thematic rewards, D1 did it better. Just because, like, again, you had such crazy weapons in D1, visually and in terms of usage. I mean, y'all remember Saladin's Vigil, which came from the Forager, the clever dragon. You know, like,
clever
dragon, the armor sets too that came along with Iron Banner. Remember, like the Fire Forge ones where you had like actual fire coming out of like the masks or the chest
I think my
pieces.
favorite one was the Camelot set that came out.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
those all those sets
oh,
were amazing. I've honestly not felt like any sort of like connection with the Iron Banner sets in D2, like
Yeah.
at all.
if we're gonna be completely honest, right? So you look at you look at all these sets in D1, and this is in no way a dig at the designers or anything like that. Like, you guys do fucking amazing work and shit like that. So don't take this in a completely negative way. But honestly, right? You look at the prodigal sets in D2, which are literally just the D1 sets, right? You look at that,
Mhm.
and it's literally a case of, right, everyone goes for the prodigal sets. Everyone goes for the likes of every Titan I know near enough. If they have the Sunbreak ornaments, they will wear them. And it's literally a case of the prodigal and the Sunbreak armor set
They're
literally look
good.
as close to a D1 armor set as you can get, but they're not the best ones. But
Yeah.
then I went on D1 not too long ago, and I was looking through all my armor. And yeah, I know nostalgia is a point, but you're going through every single piece of armor in the game, and you go, holy shit, that looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas in
No,
D2, it's literally a
Mhm.
case if you've got like one or two sets, you go, it looks better than everything
Yeah,
else I
like it looks
currently have.
decent, but yeah.
I
Yeah.
wholeheartedly agree with you there. Basically up until Shadowkeep, really, like a lot of the thematic armor in Destiny 2 was just not there for me. How it was with D1. I mean, if we're looking at like raid armor, strike specific loot armor, like it, in my opinion, and it's subjective, it was just so much better than a lot of the stuff that we have
Yeah,
seen
no.
up until this point. Because I think honestly, like the seasonal armor has been pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
because if we're talking sticking to the
Especially this
theme,
season, Jesus.
oh, it's beautiful,
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. But yeah, no, like I agree in the sense that like a lot of the weapon aesthetics and like the armor aesthetics were far superior in Destiny 1 than they have been into. And again, like you said, I appreciate the job that the team does, but I just prefer that art style that was in D1.
Right.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
And they had
for
like the
example,
Taken armor set. I really
yeah,
love that. Yes.
like even going down to like literally, right? So you look at the Golgoroth, no, not Golgoroth, fucking Fogoth gauntlets for the hunter. You've got the Tanix cloak, you've got the Strike Brothers gauntlets for the Titan, you've
Mm-hmm.
got the Dark Blade helm, and you can literally go through all of the strike specific loot and you go, holy shit, that used to look good. That didn't
Yeah.
come off my character at all. And then now you're like, okay, what doesn't come off my character? My Helmet Saint 14, unless I've got to use my fucking Lion Rampants. And if I'm not using that, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Exotic fucking class items as well. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, Jesus Christ. Bring them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went on a bit of a tangent.
No, you're fine. That's what the show's built for.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
happens.
Moving on from the Iron Banner, we also saw the shirt that was revealed to aid in the fight against the Australian bushfires. Guardians of Australia t-shirt and the Starlight Starbright emblem became available for purchase. Did any of you guys pick them up?
Yes.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous shirt.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And
fucking stunning.
the Bungie store recently tweeted out over 42,000 pre-orders for those shirts.
Right.
So
That's awesome.
there we go.
Good chunk, man.
When
Yeah.
you guys,
fucking GG.
when we get them next February, they're gonna be real nice.
Fucking
Yeah.
I'm
I'll wear them
sorry.
to Guardian Con, am I right?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see when
If
they
I can
show up.
fucking go.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see.
God.
We'll see when they show up. Those
I
special
hope.
items seem to print a little bit. They seem to print a little bit later.
Yeah, because they're custom ordered.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
It's just
yeah.
like the
The
Triumph
raid jacket?
shirts. The
On the-
Triumph shirts.
Speaking
you know?
of which, my
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
raid jacket arrived at the post office this morning.
Hey,
Why?
congratulations.
Yeah, the Crown of Sorrow one.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really hope I get my newest one, the Gardens of Salvation one, before Guardian Con, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
No. Well,
Ah.
huge shout out to them. Once again, half of all the profits generated by these t-shirts will be donated to the NSW Rural Fire Service, and the second half will be donated to WIRES, Australia's largest wildlife rescue organization. Moving on from there, we have the patch note preview, which did that drop already? Or no? The patch
No,
note?
that's new.
Okay. So Orbit Director players can now shortcut directly to the roster by selecting their empty Fireteam slots or by invoking the roster shortcut on Director map screens. When an activity is selected, Fireteam leaders can navigate left and right to get quests and roster respectively, then back to their selected activity.
Thank fuck.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's a really nice addition.
Yeah,
Like-
so that's
When I'm teaching people raids and I've got to get through to roster and shit, fuck me. Like, just backing out and then going back. I know it's not much time, but Jesus Christ, it feels like a lot when you like you're there in orbit and you're like, right, okay, I'm all there. And shit, I need to send someone an invite. Right, okay, let me just back out of there. Let me go into my roster, even though it's on a hot button. But either way, regardless, it's still a case of it feels like a lot. So thank fuck they're doing that.
yeah.
Because I was actually fucking went on a rant about it the other day when I was on one.
Are you
And I was
solely
like,
PC?
Yeah, I'm on PC. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, no. If I was on console, Jesus
There's
Christ, that's a
console
that'd be a
times.
whole
Oh,
other
it would take
fucking-
like 3 times as long. Yeah.
Like,
I just
you
spent
could
8
have a
years on
fucking
stream earlier
scourge done in
today.
the time it takes to load.
Yeah, I did several Excel sheets while streaming earlier this afternoon, and that wasn't for the map quest. It was for just work, because it took so long to get in between those.
Oh my god!
menu
Like
items.
really?
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, like, that would actually be believable. Like, it was funny. I managed to, when I was on D1 the other day, literally the time, I know it's quicker than the D2 loading times, but I
Yeah.
was just testing a point, and it took longer for D1 to go from clicking the D1 screen to get into character
Mm-hmm.
than it did for me to, like, in that time, I managed to get into D2, go to the tower, sort out some bounties, and then get back to orbit on D2.
Okay.
And I was like,
So it is
wait,
fast, but
fuck.
That's bonkers.
yeah.
As far as weapons are concerned, in the preview that they had in the TWAB, Breakneck now has a higher damage per second at Rampage 1 and 2 from 2170/2120 to 2190 and 2410. That's a huge relief. To many
Yes,
people-
Breakneck,
Breakneck fans.
The return.
Screen shake on hard light firing has been adjusted. So for
Nice.
those of you who have like issues with getting seasick, hopefully those will be a little adjusted for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel auto rifles just need a buff full stop.
Yeah.
Like
I'd
they
agree.
have been adjusted. Like the only one, there's like maybe 2 or 3 that feel amazing. Steel Feather, fuck me. That thing is monstrous. But everything that's not a feed and frenzy multi-kill clip times 5
Mhm.
Steel Feather repeater,
Mm.
everything else just feels like fucking shit.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
needs to be a lot of love there. Did you guys see? Did you guys see the damage numbers that are coming out of Wishender now, as it usurps
when you
Telesto as the
shoot
most
through
broken thing in the game?
grass,
Oh.
if you shoot through grass, it goes 16 times higher
Yeah.
than it should.
Oh, that's what that 60 times is.
Right,
Okay, because I saw that, but I didn't understand how they were getting those numbers.
the
Okay,
way
yeah.
it works, right, is so basically when you shoot an enemy normally, it doesn't do it. But because the over penetrative
Oh,
thing
like
Yeah.
the
works,
grass.
basically anything that's an
Oh.
elemental thing that you can shoot through. So, like for example,
Mm.
grass or leaves hanging from a tree or anything like that, or a waterfall if you're in some missions. If you shoot through that, that's it. Game over for whatever the fuck you're shooting at. Jesus
jeez.
Christ. So like I'm yet to try it in Crucible yet, but there's what's the one? I'm trying to think of which map it is. Nem, you're probably a bit better with this than me. The one that has the midsection with the ring in the middle that drops down to like an underground tunnel, but it's quite a small map. It's like Nessus. I think.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't remember the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, that
Endlessville?
one.
Yeah.
It might be. Either way, you've got the trees that have the drop down leaves on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
You're insane.
I'm tempted to go in there with Wish Ender and see if I can get some crispy just team shots with it because the amount of damage is just fucking insane.
Dude.
Oh my goodness.
That's nuts.
That's gonna be so dumb. So once again, bows maintaining dominance. Armor, several class item armor mods will now correctly provide diminishing returns when multiple copies of the mod are equipped. These mods include perpetuation, innervation, invigoration, insulation, and absolution.
Damn it.
Grenade launcher scavenger will no longer award special ammo for grenade launchers when the player picks up primary ammo bricks. Outside of, yeah. Outside of a few other things, the EDZ obelisk got fixed. Flashing notification icons over Eververse did not stop flashing above Tessa's head. They're trying to resolve several of those issues. Other than that, anything else that you guys can think of this week?
No, not really. At least not on my end.
Yeah.
Worm Gods.
Worm God. Oh my God.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Go for
Right,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have brought it up, but Worm Gods, like.
I should have done it, but I didn't.
Oh, right. Okay. So I know Worm Gods were broken and it was ridiculous, but I mean, right. Okay. I know it's not it's a bit of a gripe, but how come the PvP team, right, can leave PvP in the state it is and it still be as silly? It makes people affected by it. I don't know what it is because Nem can dodge fucking golden guns, but that's for us mortals. Basically, it's a case of like you go in and you get hit with all this broken shit, and it doesn't get fixed till either the season after or the one after that. Whereas anything that's remotely game breaking and dare I say fun gets disabled within a day. Like Telesto, look at the fucking thing. It's still running rampant.
It's probably on a list of priorities. It's like they probably look at things and it's
focus
like
on the.
It's more. I think more it falls under the line of like they'll look at it and it's like, all right, if this is breaking PvE encounters to this extent,
Yeah.
could it potentially crash the game for others? Versus, hey, this weapon is overpowered. You know, is it breaking the game? No,
Yeah.
okay, let's look at the one that could potentially fuck up the memory of like instances and stuff like that.
On consoles specifically.
Oh, why was it bad on console, was it?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
Because
so.
I know the loading times made it so that they couldn't do the infinite burning hands thing. I know they couldn't do that, but I know they could get the silly damage anyway. They just couldn't get the fucking insane damage.
Right.
But it's literally like one of those. I know, I get that they have the like priority list and some things do come in handy, but I mean, maybe the end of the season or something like literally being able to obliterate things with Worm Gods is just, oh my God, it's so fun. Like, did you guys manage to do it?
I didn't know.
I haven't done it, but I've been thinking about it.
Right. Okay. So basically, right, I was actually in the middle of showing my chat how to do it. And literally, as I threw my throwing hammer to start generating burning hands, it stopped. It didn't show up on my screen, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" I went on my character screen, and Worm Gods was equipped but disabled. So I had like the starting Titan gauntlets on, and I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" So if the perk physically stopped, and I threw that hammer. Because I swapped from Worm Gods to Syntheseps to Worm Gods, and then as like it was still there then, and then as soon as I throw my hammer, it must have got disabled because as soon as that left my hand, my burning fist didn't trigger, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? So I went back in my invent, and then it was disabled, and I was like, oh, you
rip.
fucking taking the piss.
Oh man.
Oh, it was silly.
That's
Loved it
wild.
though.
Yeah.
Love it though. It's such a fun build to play with.
I mean, we got our winters disabled as well.
Yeah.
Because that was working just like Worm Gods, where they were retaining the damage buff. Like that one, I can't remember who posted the video on Twitter, but they had a primeval and hit it with the 1-2 punch and then just meleeed it, and boom, primeval just gone.
Do you know that 1-2 punch thing still works?
Oh, does it really? It's still stacked?
So basically, right, the way my armor is currently set up as the ape loadout, as I like to call it, is basically what you do is you run 3 shotguns. And then if you have the heavy-handed mod from, I think it's the Tangled Shorn, perhaps, or Mars, it's one of the two, I think it is. If you have that with another arc mod on an armor piece, when you kill something with a shotgun, it automatically adds ammo for that weapon to the reserves of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you run what my build is I've got a helmet with heavy-handed and shotgun shotgun ammo finder, sorry. Then gauntlets with shotgun loader. Then my chest piece has shotgun reserves. My legs have shotgun and special ammo finder. Scavenger, sorry. And then my what's it called? My class item has the one that allows you to pick up a stack of charge light.
Oh.
So basically I'm running around and everything I'm killing is dropping ammo bricks, and everything I'm killing while surrounded, which is 99% of the time because I'm running a Titan with shotguns, so they don't have range anyway, because I usually run a 1-2 punch, a trench barrel, and a tractor cannon.
Okay.
Because the tractor cannon will up the 1-2 punch, but it goes fucking insane. Like, you never run out of ammo. You never have to do anything. And
that's great. You just run around and geez. Okay.
Yeah. So if you use Python, because it's got when you run over an ammo brick, it's got overflow, so it goes to a 10-shot mag. And then you just keep going and going and going and going and going, and you just it's so fun.
Yeah.
So
crayon eaters now.
Pigeon in chat found this quote from Dylan that was in the Destiny roundup earlier, and he was talking about in terms of bugs and what takes priority over another thing. And one of the things that sticks out is, in terms of player beneficial bugs, I'd like to give an example of an issue that was just discovered that may be fixed in a short amount of time than expected. Players can currently hide their weapons, arms, which is leading to some pretty cool content creation. While this bug is benefiting players, it's actually causing issues with memory in the game. The team is investigating.
Oh, right, shit.
Yeah, the team is investigating the full impact, but things like this could lead to nasty issues the more that players use the bug in public areas. Think error codes, crashes, and other. I admit, from a personal side, I'm sad to see the bug needs to be fixed, but a cursory look at the issue indicated a fairly low wake fix, low time to implement, test, and ship on something that a designer was already looking at. So, yeah,
they basically did a quick fix, but they didn't actually fix the issue.
Right. It's just something that they're looking at, and it takes precedence because of the issue that it
causes, and the whole
causes.
Basically, rather than just the little thing. So instead of it being just, it's melting this boss, it becomes,
it's melting this boss and the memory in this game.
People are getting disconnected. Okay, that makes sense. Actually, now you talk about that.
Yeah, I posted the link in the chat and in the call. So,
right. Oh, okay. I think I've seen this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's have a look. Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen that. Yeah. I know exactly.
But outside of that, I think that's a show. I think we have a show. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's fine by me.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Before we go tonight, let's go around the table and tell everybody where we can find ourselves on the internet, starting with you, obkatiekat. It's been great to have you here with us today, and timely, as a matter of fact. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a absolute blast. Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah.
And for those that want to find me, it's Twitch or Twitter. It's both just obkatiekat. And yeah, I'll see you guys there. But yeah.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
So that's OB and then Katie, KATIEKAT, all over the internet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Absolute pleasure.
Absolute pleasure to have you. Joshua, you filled in for the past couple weeks. How you feeling?
I have.
You feeling good?
I'm feeling good. You know, I have been getting off these long work weeks, so it's good to have a few days off. But
Excellent.
I have been doing well. Where you
can
can
we
find
find you?
me, I am normally just Joshua JGB2. If you look it up on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, pretty much wherever, it's just Joshua JGB2. And I also do a podcast called Karma's Revenge as well, a weekly show on Thursdays. So if you want to check that out, you can as well.
Yeah.
On Twitch. And yeah, so that's what I do.
Perfect. Pitch shifted Nem. I'm sorry, somewhere down the line, Discord decided that you decided to need to have an edgier voice.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just like that. So, how are you doing? Where can people find you on the internet, good sir?
Across the internet, Nem plays everywhere. But a short announcement.
Okay.
For the podcast listeners out there. I'm going to be taking a indefinite hiatus from the podcast. Something that I've honestly been mulling for the past couple of months since I started working, really. Just mainly, honestly, just work hours. I work Saturdays every other Saturday, so a lot of my free time is just kind of spent worrying about stuff that's going on at the home base, and honestly, it's just kind of like I've not been in the proper mindset for a lot of the shows. So going to be taking a little break. Hopefully at some point down the line, I could possibly come back depending on how things are. But I believe this is probably going to be my last show for a good while. So I will still be obviously playing the game. And if you want to follow my shenanigans in Destiny, twitter.com/nemplays, and I'll still be uploading just, your Crucible Nova warping shenanigans that I do, and Gambit stuff. So, if you want to hang out with me, then be on Twitter. One of the reasons why I've primarily stopped streaming as well is just that my internet is not great. I can't hold 10 upload speeds for the life of me. So having that is just kind of annoying. And it when you have like the equipment to be able to output something great, but then your internet just refuses to cooperate, it's just frustrating. And I just decided for the meantime, I'm just not gonna even attempt to do that. That's why Twitter has just kind of been my home base. I occasionally put stuff up on my YouTube channel, which is also Nem Plays, but that's just honestly just either silly clips that I see people do or stuff that I do with friends. But for the meantime, temporary hiatus from the show. I've been doing it since Rise of Iron.
Yeah, you've been at this a long time.
Yeah, I've been doing it. I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing the Disney thing since then. Started off streaming, then eventually moved up to the podcast, and then over to the YouTube side of things, and helped out Moon with recruitment, and then running the Twitch side of stuff, helping the people that we had with the resources and stuff. So
yeah,
gonna take a little break.
You've been a good resource for Planet Destiny for a long time, and I know I'm gonna miss hearing your voice, however shifted it is in pitch.
Sick.
on the podcast, and especially your point of view. I hope that you return soon, and I just love you, dude. So
I love you too, buddy.
stay around.
It's
Don't
been
be a
great.
stranger. We'll be, let's play some games or something. That would be great.
100%.
All right, good.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Excellent. You can
Sweet.
find me, Danfinity, twitch.tv/Danfinity, 4 days a week. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram, Danfinity, but the I's are L's. Outside of that, I think that's the show for the evening.
One more thing, just before I go, chat. Thank you for the love. You're not being ignored. I see you guys. You guys are fucking great, and you guys know where to find me if you guys want to talk. For Twitter. So, love you guys. I appreciate all the support you guys have given me. It's honestly been amazing. Back to you.
Sweet.
I love you, Nim. You're just
Love you
such
too, buddy.
Time for me to go back to hexagons as well.
Oh God.
She's like, oh god, time to go back to the
Well,
ground.
guys.
I literally said to my chat before we did this, I was like, right, okay, I need to go and do Plan Destiny, go and check that out. But afterwards, I will be back to do more fucking
There we
hexagon
go.
shenanigans. So if
perfect.
anyone's actually listening, pop in if you want.
Sounds
after
good.
it.
Before you go, let's sign out. Thank you guys for listening to episode 225 of the Planet Destiny podcast. We love you guys. We will see you, or 224 of the Planet Destiny podcast. We will see you next week for 225. Until then, enjoy your week, and I hope you find what you're grinding for.